All right, it is time now for our rants and raves, starting with Susie.
Hi. My rant today is about all the dog bites man stories coming out of the White House. I mean, I know that we are looking for ways to cover this White House. They are deliberately very boring. And so anything that happens, the media is dying to find an angle on. But I feel like we jumped the shark this week when one of the dogs pooped in the White House, which is a thing dogs do, especially because this was the older dog who I think is 12 or 13, Champ. And it just seems like we shouldn't dog shame these poor, sweet dogs in the White House. So,
Susie, I got to be honest with you. I missed the whole story, so I had to go back and read it after you brought it up. I thought, geez, there's a lot of dog shaming, and I missed that. All right. Okay, Dan.
Is there anything worse than the media dipping into April Fool's Day pranks? I did kind of like GBH rickrolling on the billboard.
I never even heard of that. Yeah.
But I have a rant for the Montco Times, which is not a real news source, but they build themselves as a website designed to tell positive stories about Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. And this week they ran a fake story saying that you'd be able to get COVID vaccines at your local Wawa deli.
Wow.
And it even had this ridiculous quote from a fake doctor saying, each and every one of our deli associates has had a full hour of training giving shots, and each one is said to successfully inoculate a grapefruit before we would certify them. Absolutely ridiculous. By the way, I did reach out to Wawa. A spokeswoman told me they had nothing to do with it and that they contacted this publication to express their concern.
Yeah, we need to retire April Fool's idiocy to begin with. Remember the infamous volcano at the Blue Hills?
Which I believe.
I mean, didn't somebody lose their job over that? Yeah.
I think I believe that one.
You believed it? That was a while ago, 70s or 80s. All right, Callie.
So I have a rave for Indian Country Today, which launched just a few days ago. It's half-hour daily broadcast. They are anchored now at the Arizona State University at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Communications. So they're looking at news all across the country and bringing it every night so that people don't just narrowly think about what's going on in the lives of Native Americans. And they're doing an excellent job. And this is a huge leap from where the newspaper was itself. They brought that up to just a great digital edition, and now this is the next iteration of it, and it's great, so people can have a resource.
Where are they getting the resources? I mean, some of that photography was unbelievable.
Yeah, they're all over. Mark Trahan, who I said is the anchor of it, has done pieces for Frontline here, so he's a well-known Native American journalist. He's fabulous, and he's been pushing this rock up a hill, and I'm just so excited to see the results. It's really wonderful.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, Lylah.
So I have a rave for Lester Holt, who revived the whole truth versus fairness versus objectivity debate today. Well, not today, earlier this week, when accepting a journalism award. What I think is really interesting is the pushback against it, where some people are saying that fairness is kind of the opposite of truth, that you can't go for truth without also going for fairness. But I think that there's a real danger in the media. I've said it over and over about looking for false equivalency in order to make sure you've told both sides of a story, when in reality, there are many, many, many sides to a story, and elevating something small to the same level of something big in the name of fairness doesn't always serve truth. So it's an interesting debate that's been resparked, and I'm glad to see it taking place.
Yeah, well, he was really talking specifically too about the spreading of misinformation, and of course we've seen a lot of that now. The pushback, the two lawsuits with Fox News, and I think he was kind of alluding to that too, the responsibility that a news media organization has in spreading disinformation. Yeah. All right, I have finally a rave tonight, I think, for someone I don't really watch that often, but Greg Gutfeld is a late-night weekend host, I should say, of a show on Fox. They've just given him his own primetime network show that's going to go up against Conan O'Brien and all the other people who have late-night shows. He's a conservative, if you haven't watched him. He's got a core audience. As I said, I've only caught him a few times, but he has a nice manner, and it's, you know, his humor might not be yours, and he does have a conservative bent on things, but it's different. And you have to admit that the genre of late night talk is pretty similar. It's all the same, pretty much. You know, it's jokes on Trump, excuse me, and all that. So this is going to be a little bit different, and let's give it a try. I hope it works. So it's on at 11 o'clock here and 8 o'clock on the West Coast, and it'll be live.